back to the channel. I think it's time for another muscle car review. So we're sitting here with my buddy Nevin here. I drove about over an hour to get here in the Coronets. It was a good drive, but we got a little bit of country living out here, and we're sitting here in this badass car. So Nevin, what are we driving in today, man?
All right, 69 Road Runner.
Okay.
Original 383 4-speed car. It's getting kind of far away from that right now. It's got a 400 in it.
Okay.
Stroked, it's 512, got Indy heads, 6-pack. Currently right now the car's got a torque flight in it.
Okay.
410 Dana.
Nice.
It's got original A12 air cleaner stuff on it, real hood. I really like the A12 car, so that's kind of my...
I love the look too, man.
Yeah, it's got my theme with this car, you know.
Yeah.
I got a couple fresh Hemi 4-speeds for it. I'll probably convert it back at some point.
Okay.
But the car's...
I mean, you're saying you got a 6-pack on here, so do you have to work those pretty much for the 512, right?
Yeah, so I've actually ran a couple different sets of 6-pack carbs on it. I've ran the vacuum carbs. I do quite a bit of work on those. It ran good with those. It's got actually the direct connection mechanical 6-pack carbs on it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
the 4783 outboards.
Yeah.
So they got their own accelerator pumps. So,
Oh, wow.
but those I also had to really work over. They had a preset idle circuit in them, basically with weep holes, and I actually had to go through and I drilled them out and actually made conventional idle circuits in them, changed the metering blocks and stuff so they're adjustable now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know when you start going bigger cubes and things like that, the fuel demand kind of goes up, so you got to do something, right?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I ran into. Everything I've put on has been lean. I've had to fatten everything up for low speed. The problem is when you fatten them up for the low speed, when you're cruising like this, you got high vacuum. So then the motors want to go fat on the cruise. So then you got to go back through and lean them out while they're cruising, you know. Which, a little bit of jetting, but it's a lot more in idle feed restrictions.
Okay. So definitely some tuning.
Yeah, transfer slots. I put restrictors in the transfer slots. You know, things like that to kind of lean out the cruise.
Mechanical fuel pump or electrical?
Electric. It has electric fuel pump on it right now, yeah.
Sounds great, man.
Yeah, my goal with this car is I wanted a 10-second car that ran on pump gas, full interior, that I can get in and drive anywhere.
I love it, man. I mean, you got to drive it.
So, and you've seen it click off 1090s through the mufflers on a hot day.
Yeah, that was, we had a good time that day. For sure, man. I really like cruising out here. I'll tell you what, I might have to move down here.
Oh, it's beautiful out here.
It's awesome. So you said you're running a 410 in the back?
Yep, got a 410 Dana.
Okay.
Still got the original power lock in it. Seems to work good.
Gotcha.
So it's got GTX leaf springs on it right now, the bias ones. The last time I had the car up in there, they're getting kind of tweaked, so I'm gonna put some Caltrax on it probably next year.
Okay. Yeah, I know Wayne likes his Caltrax, man. That car just launches and goes straight, you know. So
hard to beat them. They work really well.
For sure, for sure. So the engine's 512?
Yep.
Okay. What kind of compression?
It's 10.5 to 1.
Okay.
It's a 440 source kit.
Gotcha.
Solid flat tappet cam. I got the cam from Dwayne Porter. It's a custom grind. It's 260, 266 and 50. It's on a 110, 630 lift.
Oh, right on.
Got 1.6 rockers. I still got the Indy rockers on it. I got a set of Harlan Sharps for it, but I've never put them on because I'll have to get another set of push rods. So I just haven't ventured into doing that yet.
Yeah, they're never done. You know, there's always something to do on the cars.
There is. So this motor's been together. I built this motor in 2016, I think. So it's been hammered pretty hard. So it's probably getting close to. I probably need to pull at least put a set of bearings in it and freshen it. You know?
I mean, you've taken this one to the Mopar Nats.
No, I've never hit the Mopar Nats. I do go down to Norwalk every year, September, for the Mopar event.
Okay.
You know, so I've had it down there for that.
Gotcha. Trick flow heads?
These are Indy SR heads. They're ported by Modern Cylinder heads. Okay. So the port on them, they're a little bigger than standard port, but they're not quite max wedge. So kind of the cool thing about it is I can still run the 6-pack intake. It'll seal up. I have ran a max wedge Indy single plane on it, which is a little bigger than ports on the heads, but it runs really well with that as well with a single dominator. So So
Okay, yeah, man. Yeah, it seems to scream pretty well. Yeah, I mean, so you did this car yourself?
yeah, everything. I did the engine. Originally, my dad did the trans. I've been back through the trans since. Painted the car.
Yeah.
Just set up the rear end. Yeah, tune it. Pretty much everything with this car, I do it.
Yeah, it's clean, man. It's clean. Looks good. What's the color?
The color is 2001 Isuzu Blue Medium Metallic.
Okay. It's sharp though, man.
Yeah, so the reason I picked that color is kind of the closest thing I could match to the door jambs and everything. I was in a hurry when I got it to get it painted, you know, so I just matched it the best I could. I didn't want to do the door jambs and all that, so
Gotcha.
you know.
All right, so did you do like, did you paint the underside of the car, or did you do undercoating, that kind of thing?
No, unfortunately, the underside of the car is pretty original. It's got a lot of the original undercoating and stuff.
Okay.
It's not a rusty car, very clean car.
Yeah.
But yeah, at some point I might take it
That's
apart.
all good, man.
Do a
I
little
get it,
more to
because
it.
I mean, you know, my car's painted underneath, and when you get stone chips and things like that, after a while you got to kind of let it go. You know what's going to happen. You're going to drive your car. It's just the way that it is.
Yeah, this car I don't feel bad about. I've driven it to work. Honestly, in the summertime, I drive it a lot. Just to, even if I'm going to the grocery store or something to run errands, you know, I drive it. So that's what it's for.
Yeah, you got to, man, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Man, what a beautiful day.
Oh, great day for cruising around.
Oh yeah. Pulls pretty damn hard, man.
10-second pull. I'm gonna swing in here and get some gas real quick.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. Man, real nice looking car, dude.
Thank you.
All right, so you're running a 6AL. What kind of RPM? I mean, what do you max this thing out at, man? What do you rev it up to?
Honestly, so this stroker motor with these the standard port intake, it don't need to go a whole lot of RPM. I usually shift it 58 to 6 at the track.
Okay.
Now when I've had a max wedge intake on it with a Dominator, it wants to run a little harder, you know, 65, 66 feels about where it's a good spot to shift it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you got the little whole fuel system upgrade here.
Yep.
Looks like.
Yep. The mechanical carbs are fed from the driver's side, which is a little different from the vacuum setup.
Gotcha. Yeah, I got a very similar setup here. Nice to see that you got, I mean, you're going to have a limiting strap, or else you'll probably destroy these motor mounts, right? Or you got solids in there?
They're solids, but I was still having trouble with the engine moving around, and I think that's why I broke the flex plate.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Can't hurt to have it.
Yeah, so since I've put that on it, it's a lot better.
Very, very nice, man. Did you do some porting work on the intake itself?
Yeah, I did quite a bit to that intake. Something I figured out from talking with a couple guys that had pretty good running six-pack cars.
Yeah.
Is the divider comes all the way up to the bottom of the carburetors.
Okay.
I started working that down, so all three of them I got down about 3/4 of an inch, kind of scalloped out, knife edged, and that really, what I found with that is it really improved the drivability on it, and idle quality and stuff really came around.
Interesting.
And it seems like it runs a little stronger too. But I don't have a back-to-back at the track, you know, to compare it with or anything. But
yeah. So how big are the headers?
Headers are 2-inch stepped TTIs. It's got a full TTI exhaust on it.
Okay. Right on. Run cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you cruise this thing all day long and no big
Yeah,
deal?
yeah, I drive this car quite a bit. The only problem I have with it is it tends to vapor lock. So eventually I'd like to put one of the Maramotive tanks on it and do a return system.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it ain't bad
would
when
help.
you're driving out here in the country, but you get in a city where it's stop and go on a July day. You'll watch
sure.
that fuel pressure gauge starts dropping to 0, you know, so.
Yeah. Man, it looks like you added all the right things, man. I mean, trans cooler in the front, you got to have that, especially if you're going to be racing. Yeah, sharp looking car, for sure. So you've had this wasn't your dad's car though, right?
This was not, no.
Okay.
I had a really nice 68 Barracuda, beautiful car
Okay.
that I had put together around 2010.
Yeah.
And my buddy's dad had this car. It looked a little different at that point when he had it, but I always wanted a Road Runner, and he liked the Barracuda, so we ended up working out a trade in 2011. So
2011. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
So I've had it since then. Done quite a bit to it. You know, painted it obviously. It's got a whole different drivetrain in it. Interior's different. Yeah.
4-wheel disc all the way, or?
No, it's just got discs on the front right now. It's got the 11-inch drums on the back. So.
I mean, for the most part, that's all you need, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's one of them. It's on the to-do list. I'd like to put discs on the back, but
Yeah,
we'll
I
get
ended
there.
up doing a kit on mine, and not super happy with although manual brakes, so there's that difference too, you know what I mean? The amount of pressure that you can apply. But yeah, I don't know, they're okay. It was pretty nice, a good upgrade, but I just kind of struggled with that particular brand's installation and things. I kind of struggled a little bit with that. We could talk about that some other time.
Well, I will say,
yeah, man, for sure.
I will say I had the same front brakes on my Dart as this car, and I've definitely found the limit of them.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
it ain't stopping real good on them 9-second passes. So.
Wow. So yeah, what were you saying? So these are Hollies, right?
Yep, these are Hollies. So we popped the air cleaner off.
Okay. There was something you just mentioned about it. Obviously, yeah, the fuel is on the driver's side. Okay.
Yep, so these are mechanical carbs. They got accelerator pumps on the outboard, so that's your difference.
Gotcha.
The 4783s also, they got a slab throttle shaft in them, so they flow a little bit more air than the factory vacuum carbs.
Okay.
Now this is actually a 500 CFM 2-barrel rated at 2-barrel numbers, equivalent to a front half of a 750. It's a 4412. Cut the back of it off and turned it into a center carb. This carb set up, I can run with the vacuum setup too. I just got to change the base plate because it different throttle shaft for the vacuum outboards. But
okay. So I see this Valley train here. So these are trick flow 270s?
So these are Indy SRs.
Indy SRs. I'm
Yep.
sorry. You know what? Sorry about that. Yeah, you already did mention that. I remember we had the discussion actually, and that's what made me think of it between the 240s and the 270s. With the Valley trays. So yeah, that's what made me think of that.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I'm like, I gotta ask you.
These things are kind of in between a 240 and a 270 head, honestly. You know,
they still flow well.
Yeah.
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 Obviously it runs well.
Yeah, so you can even see on the gasket, if I took them out the max wedge port all the way, that's the max wedge sealing surface of this gasket.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see it there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're not quite all the way out that big yet, but they might get there. We'll see. I kind of like running the car with the 6-pack, you know, because I like that. I said I was kind of going for that A12 look. With
yeah.
It, you know.
Well, I think you hit it for sure. Man, great looking car.
Thank you.
Yeah. What do you think? We'll go put some more miles on?
Let's go.
Or?
Yeah. Well, let's let you drive it.
Let me drive it?
Yeah, let's let you drive it.
All right. Well, I guess we could do that.
All right.
Let's do that, man. All right. Thanks. Man, this is the first, you know. We're doing a muscle car review, and the guy actually lets me drive the car. That's pretty sweet, you know.
Yeah, true muscle car review that way.
That's a true muscle car review. Wow. Very, very cool, man.
We'll just keep going straight through here.
Right on. idea what the speed limit is.
Yeah, we're probably exceeding it.
Well, I know we're going to. Oh man. Yeah, great car. You know, I've never driven a Road Runner. I've driven quite a few B-bodies, but it just hasn't come up.
Yeah, the thing I like about B-bodies, they're all good driving cars. You know?
They really are, man, yeah.
If the front ends are tight on them and stuff, they're hard to beat. They ride good, they drive good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice out here, man.
I usually slow down a little bit for these railroad tracks, and then you can
for sure.
you can jump on a little bit after you go over them.
Right. Any type of like adjustable shocks or anything on here?
Yeah, I just got cheap Summit adjustable shocks on the back. Then it's got Calvert 9010s on the front.
Okay.
So that's why it drives a little bit. You know, it's a little loose in the front just because I want the weight transfer.
Yeah, for sure.
It does got the sway bar still on it.
Do you have front and rear, or just the
No,
front?
just the front. Yep.
Okay. I mean, I think that's probably the more important one for handling and things.
Yeah, yeah. Curvy roads like this one, S-curve.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you know, on the Coronet, you know, I drive it all over the place and stuff, and I ended up adding a sway bar into the backside in the rear, and man, when I get off the freeway and stuff, that thing hugs the road really well.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a sway bar on my Barracuda. I really like it. Did help it, you know.
For sure.
When I had the 5-speed in this car, I actually had considered going to doing like a pro touring deal with doing the sway bars and, you know, put bigger wheels and tires on it, kind of more for handling, you know, but
right.
Seems like everything I ends up on the quarter-mile drag strip. So.
Yeah, you kind of got the need for speed, right?
Yeah.
All good. So you got those signs out here to tell you you're going too fast.
Yeah, they just put those up.
Okay.
That's recent, last couple months.
I'm seeing them a lot more, for sure. It's like, hey, dummy, you're going too fast, right?
Yeah. It's the ones that send you the tickets in the mail I don't like.
Yeah, but so when I went out to Sweden, they had a lot of those camera type things, you know. So you could get a ticket in the mail.
Well, what's your impressions? It don't really drive around like a 10-second car, does it?
No, not really. You wouldn't really think about it. It's just nice, smooth cruiser. But you can tell when you get on the gas, though.
Yeah. That was kind of my goal. That's what impresses me about these big motors is they drive around. This thing drives around like a 12-second car.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But you want to be able to throw the family in here, right?
Yep.
Go get some ice cream.
Yeah, we do.
Go to the store, whatever you want to do. Yeah, real good driving car, man. No, it's not that bad. Yeah, I dig it out here, man. Kind of a more of a two-hander kind of vehicle with the manual steering, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gotta drive it a little bit.
You gotta drive a little bit. So you're hanging right at the stop sign.
Okay.
If you want to jump on a little bit here when you take off, go for it.
Right on. Sounds good too, man. What kind of, so you said full TTI exhaust?
Full TTI. It's got Flowmaster Delta flows on it for mufflers.
Okay.
Yeah, since I've gotten older, I kind of like having tailpipes. stuff on a car that you drive, you know.
Yeah.
When I was younger, that's the first thing I did is I took all that shit off.
For sure. Yeah, you know, in the Scamp, man, I got the exhaust right at the axle, and it's like boom, 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 boom inside the cab, and it's getting kind of annoying. It sounds good when I pull up, and everybody's like, dude, you got a 440 in there? And I'm like, nah, it's only a 318. They're like, no way. I'm like, yeah. And it runs pretty good, you know, for what it is.
That's why I had this out the track one day, and the guy walked up to it, and he recognized it was a low deck, you know. And he's looking at it, and he goes, that ain't no 383. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, you really wouldn't think too much about it when you pass by, like at a car show or whatever, but the people that really know, they're going to spot that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's smooth, man. It's a good running car, for sure. I know I'm still dealing with my vibrations and things with my car, and I'm glad you looked at it for me a little bit and gave me some places to look, you know.
Anything I can help with, you know.
Yeah. So if we can get that figured out, that'll be beautiful. I'll come back down here for sure. We'll do some cruising.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll get some guys together. I got a bunch of buddies down here got cars, so.
Okay. Oh yeah, dude. 100%. Man, that pulls, man. That's a that's a good feeling. Yeah, man. Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely. Cool. I'll tell you what, this car, I'm used to it, you know, so it don't really feel all that fast to me from the driver's seat, but whenever I'm in that passenger seat, somebody else is driving it, you kind of like, oh yeah, she's getting with it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't have a steering wheel to hang on to or anything, and there's definitely a different feel to it. Plus, you're expecting it. You're the one pressing on the gas pedal and all that, you know?
Yeah. I'd like to get some track data with it with the Dominator on it. It really rips with that thing.
Okay. That's cool. Must be the spot. That thing is awesome. It's a great looking car. This thing, man, revs up quick. It's awesome. Hell yeah.
How was that?
That was good. Guy's got a nice setup there.
Yeah, he does.
Wow. Old school Dodge truck over there. Got a few cars out here.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
There's a Road Runner. It's a twin to this one, about 4 doors up that way.
Okay.
Except it's a 68, but it's blue, real close in color.
Yeah.
It's also got a 500-inch motor in it.
Wow. Yeah, that's cool, man. So beautiful day. Man, Nevin, I really appreciate you taking me out for a ride out in the country and talking about this car and taking me for a blast. I mean, and you let me drive it. That just tops off my whole day right there. So I really do appreciate it. Thanks, man.
You're welcome, man.
All right, dude.
Anytime.
Take it easy.